Welcome back to my kitchen. Today is the 4th of July and I have a special family memory to share with you. Today we're going to be making what I grew up calling bacon bread. This is a Hungarian traditional delicacy, I'll call it, and it really is built around building community, building family, sharing stories, and standing around a wood fire roasting a big old piece of fatback. Let's go see how this all comes together. Today we're going to make Sutni, also known by some people as Sutni Szalona, which basically means bacon barbecue in Hungarian. I don't speak Hungarian, I can't read Hungarian, I only know from my memories, and to have it confirmed by my stepdad and my mom that we used to call this Sutni. And I don't know how to spell that, I don't even know how to look it up. So I know that I have a couple of people who watch me who are of Hungarian ancestry, who probably do speak fluent Hungarian, or at least enough to maybe help me out. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know that all you really need to call this is delicious. This is a dish that I grew up calling bacon bread, and it's really kind of what I'm going to call Hungarian bruschetta. It starts with,
I see that.
right? Mm-hmm. It starts with bacon. Now this is fatback bacon, and it is cured and salted, and you probably are going to have to call around and look for this in your area. This came as one piece. I cut it in half, but you can definitely see the striations. But this is back bacon. This is not pork belly bacon. This is something that is used as a seasoning meat. Now, you saw already that we built the fire, and we are going to put this on a sharpened wood stick. But before we do that, we have to score. This still has the skin on it, so we have to score the skin, and we're just gonna do that crosshatch style. Make little diamonds. As this cooks on the stick over the open flame, it's going to curl and open up, and all of the fat's going to be rendered. You need the fat because we're going to use rye bread. So use good European style rye bread. I bought my rye bread today from the Publix bakery because it's really, really good. And I ain't got no time to make homemade rye bread in the middle of the hot, stinking summer. So it's just that simple. Get yourself a good loaf of rye bread. This takes place on the rye bread. And I'm going to show you how to build it. We're going to go outside and we're going to get this piece of fatback going on the stick. Once it starts dripping, you're going to drip some of that delicious bacon nectar over the rye bread. And then you're going to build yourself a little salad. What I have here is what we always had when I was a kid. Now, mind you, I haven't had this since I was maybe 10 years old, maybe 11 years old, before we moved to Arizona from New Jersey. My grandparents, my mama and my papa, my father's parents, were Hungarian and Czech. My papa was Czech, my mama was Hungarian. Her mother lived with them growing up, and full-blooded Hungarian, like gypsy people, okay, like Romani people. And so this is what we had every 4th of July, as long as I can remember ago from the last time I had it, was you build this little salad and you pick what you want, but we always had sweet onion, bell pepper, tomato, and cucumber. Now, you may have other things, and you may be, of Hungarian descent, and you may know this Sutni Szalona in another form. Some people slice the tomatoes and onions and they put them on a plate and they drip the bacon grease over, and then they put it on the rye bread. It just depends on where you're from, how you were raised. There are pockets of Hungarian culture all over this country, really prevalent in the East and Midwest. There are some in the South. Through my research, which is really spotty because it's, you can't just look up Sutni on the internet or Hungarian bacon bread. You find things that are loosely related, and you really find some touching stories. And I know I'm rambling and I'm sorry, but this is really more of a little bit about who I am, and I'm sharing with you a touchstone from my childhood. So whether you make this or not is irrelevant. It's just me sharing today something that I have not had in 40 years. And I'm going to share it with my family today, and hopefully it will become part of who they are, because this always happened at the 4th of July. That's why we're doing it for you on the 4th of July. You build your salad. I like to, I'm stepping it up a little bit from when I was a kid. We used to just pile it on the bread and then drip more bacon nectar over the top. But we're gonna take what you want, build it in a bowl, put it on the bread, and then drip more bacon nectar over top of it, because it just seems to make sense to me from a building perspective and a culinary perspective. We're gonna go outside and get this ball rolling. And you gotta do this at the fire, because you gotta have the bacon needs to be dripping for you to enjoy it. And not everybody's gonna eat at the same time, because the bacon, depending on how fast it's gonna drip, that's how fast you're gonna have your bacon bread. We're gonna meet you outside. All right, so we're back on the deck in front of the barbecue. Rick's built this amazing wood fire out of hardwood. This is oak out of our own yard. He sharpened me a stick, because this is how it goes. You sharpen a wood stick and you put this beautiful piece of fat back on it. And then the person in charge of the meat is called the twirler. That would be me now. But really, traditionally, this is men's work. This is something, you know, the women did a lot of the prep, and if we're talking about something in a traditional fashion, the women did all the prep, and the men did the twirling and the eating. This was really a way in Hungarian community is for them to have community and camaraderie. Now this does stem from peasant food that would be eaten in the field during harvest time. So this is very, very traditional, very peasant-y food. This is not something the bourgeoisie would be eating. When it starts to drip, that's when the magic will start to happen. We are getting there. It takes some time before you get some good drips, but make sure you have your rye bread ready. Now don't you tell me that looks gross, because it doesn't. All right? You're gonna get some char off of the fat back, and it's gonna end up on your bread. But I promise you, this is going to be a most delicious treat. We went ahead and we brought our bacon bread, Judas Kenya, Sutni Szalona, in the house because it's blazing hot outside, and standing next to a raging wood fire is not my idea of a good time.
On the hottest day of the year.
It really is hot.
And humid.
But I wanted to do this for you, and I wanted to share it with you. I literally haven't had this in 40 years, and I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just as good to me today as it was when I was a kid. All the people that were standing around the fire when I was a kid, few of them are left. Most of them have passed away, but we have these amazing memories, and 4th of July has rolled around, and for the first time in a long time, I got to experience bacon bread again. I don't know the next time I'll have it, but I can guarantee you that when I do, my mama and my papa and my father and all of those people who used to be there, Lillian and Andy from next door, and Jay from down the street, they're still gonna be there in my heart when I enjoy this. Do you want to taste this?
Like I have to.
Just to make it easy, I'm just gonna cut a little piece because it is a very messy thing. There's a reason that you eat it in the yard.
Yeah. What a treat. You pick up on the saltiness from the pork.
It's just the way I remember. It's bacon salad, people.
It's delicious. I like what you said, the Hungarian bruschetta.
It is. It is Hungarian bruschetta. Instead of using olive oil, you're using smoked bacon nectar. Speaking of which,
Got a chart knob here.
this is the piece of meat we used to render the bacon nectar from. Now, some people, my pop-up did not do this. Some people chop this up and eat it. They sprinkle it or add it on top of their bacon bread. But my pop-up never did that. He just tossed it to the dogs.
It's very, very salty.
It is a piece of salted pork, so keep that in mind. You don't need to add any additional seasoning to this at all. I want to apologize for my emotional moment, but this is who I am, this is where I came from, and those are the people who are in my heart. I hope you are having an amazing 4th of July, because after we would have bacon bread, we would always go down to the waterworks and wait for the fireworks to start. So I hope wherever you are in the world, if you are an American, I hope you're celebrating Independence Day, and I hope you're giving thanks for what it truly means to be free. I hope that you liked today's video, and if you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my kitchen, welcome. I promise I'm not always this...
Sappy.
I'm not. It's always a pleasure to make new friends and invite people into the kitchen. And if you liked what you saw, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining me again in the future for another not so crybaby-ish video. As always, if you are a tried and true member of the Noreen kitchen family, and you know that from time to time I can get overwhelmed and verklempt. Be sure and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we may share all the time right here from our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope that whether you try this bacon bread or not, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have an amazing Independence Day, and I hope that you are truly thankful for the freedom that we have. And I want to thank all of the servicemen and women all around the world who are currently on duty at their posts, and retirees for your service, because without you, our freedom would definitely not be what it is today. Go and have an amazing Independence Day, and I love all of you, and thank you for joining me today for sharing this happy and nostalgic family memory from my heart. Until next time, I'll see ya.